What's going on, guys? Eric here with MajorLeagueTrading.com. For tonight's video, we're going to call this one the state of the markets. And we're kicking off looking at Tesla here. But for those of you that don't know, we do have the State of the Union address tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when President Trump will take the stage, start talking about, I'm sure, the economy and who knows what else. But the big thing here is we've got some things to look at in the market. Number one, I'm going to start off looking at Tesla here, and I'm going to turn the extended session off, and you guys can just see here in a crazy move out of Tesla today. Traded up to like $908 in pre-market, opened here 882.96 is on the day, and then overall had a range of 135 points on the day for Tesla. So this thing has been absolutely just a wicked mover here lately. The IV rank, this is the big thing that I want you guys to see. The IV rank right now is at 100%. I mean, Tesla options could not get more expensive at this point, I don't believe. Looking at, at the money contracts, they're like $50 in Tesla here. And, some crazy sell-offs. We get, in a matter of 10 minutes, not even that, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. We get a 100-point sell-off in Tesla here, and just overall some crazy volatility there. So it's a big mover. If you guys are not, fully versed in how to handle a stock like this, or just, not in this stock, just stay to the side. This thing can absolutely hurt if you get caught on the wrong side. So that's going to be the first kind of thing here. Next up, if we take a look at the overall markets, we've got the 4 grid here. And I'll switch this over to the S&Ps here. We'll start off there. But taking a look at the 4 grid, a couple of things that kind of stand out today. It's almost 5 o'clock Eastern here. We've got a really big divergence coming out of the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq up 2.71% here on the day, and trading 93.61s here. S&Ps trading 3300s here, 1.70%. And the Russell 1.70%, and the Dow here 1.54%. So, S&Ps, Russell, and Dow, they're all kind of moving right there together. I mean, 0.15% difference here, and that doesn't really make a difference. But a 1% difference between the S&Ps and the Nasdaq over here, that's a big difference. 2.71 to 1.7%. That's a big difference there. And if you notice, during this sell-off here in, Tesla was, right in through here, the Nasdaq moved like 20 points to the downside. Like, that's it. We made new highs just right before that. We're over those highs now. And Tesla sold off 100 points. So it kind of begs the question of, really how much does Tesla actually matter to this market? Like, it's overall just market strength coming out of the Nasdaq here, up 246 points on the day. That's an absolutely insane move. But where does that really leave us kind of on the daily charts and kind of the bigger picture here? So we've got the S&P here. You guys can see these are the levels for today. Pullbacks to potentially 32.7550s, or a move up through 90.50s that holds, gets us 96 quarters. 96 quarters holds, and we go higher from there. And realistically, if we look here, the daily chart, you can see we're kind of poking up above these levels now. And, we've got 33, 37.50s above here. These are those prior highs that we could get to. So there's still another, 35 points, 36 points or so to go here in the S&Ps at this point. If we take a look at the Nasdaq, though, Nasdaq here clearing and getting new all-time highs today on this move. So that big difference, that 1% difference in price, is about those 30-some points there for the S&P. So the real question is, will the S&Ps kind of catch up to what it is that the Nasdaq's doing? And I think there is a possibility for that, given that we did see this divergence here from Friday's action. You can see this red bar. This was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here, looking at the daily chart. And basically, what you can see here is Monday we kind of gap down. We get that low. Friday we set a higher low here on the Nasdaq in terms of the daily chart, and then once we break over 92.1875s, it's pretty much all hands on deck to the upside, and that's exactly what we got today. So we got a little bit of a pullback there at the open, couldn't quite trade back to these 92.1875s. Some small resistance at 73s, you can see traded a couple times there. Opening print held and just pushed us higher all day long in the Nasdaq, right? We're setting up for the same type of pattern here now in the S&Ps, but one thing to notice that the S&Ps didn't get this kind of higher low here from Friday to Monday. This was the early indication of this reversal, which we of course made members aware of here. I did not expect to see Nasdaq up 2.70%. I'll be completely honest with that. But the fact of the matter still remains the same. The setup is there. S&Ps are just now cracking over this 3290, 3296.50 level, which then gives it the room and the power to do exactly what the Nasdaq did and kind of make this move up here and tag these new highs, 3337.50s. So looking at that, obviously if we do break support to the downside here, taking out today's open, that will be a different story. Russell here, a little bit of a different picture. Russell is weaker here. It's coming back to some resistance here. Try to hold today, or try to push through on the day, and now it's just kind of working its way up here, trying to take out this prior pivot. But this is going to be a pretty pivotal point here for the Russell in terms of the daily chart. So I think there's an opportunity for a pairs trade coming up with potentially either the Russell and the S&Ps or the Russell and or the Nasdaq there. So this is getting to be a pretty good looking spot for the Russell, and I actually do think we might see another pullback in the Russell that kind of fakes the new downtrend in the daily, but ultimately ends up holding here on the hourly chart and continues to push us higher. So keeping that one on watch. And then here in the Dow, we had a really important support level here on the day, 28,833s. You can see that level pushed through by about 14 points. That held us nicely. 28,833s was a good target on the day and a resistance level for the Dow. I'm sure a lot of people probably got faked out on this kind of new high here after the pullback. But again, 28,833 is holding as good resistance there. And I do think the Dow gets one more pullback again. 28,562s down here most likely gives this 20 SMA time to kind of catch up, gives the market a little bit of time to catch up, and then from there I think the Dow takes out this 28,833s. So right now, although the market is super strong, it's made a really nice move. Given what I'm seeing on the charts here, I think we need either a little bit of consolidation in the Nasdaq and or a pullback here out of the S&Ps, Russell, and Dow, and then I think those three markets, more so the S&Ps, I think has the better shot at new all-time highs here, but then after this pullback in the Dow, I think that's going to give some really good opportunities for some long setups there and a move back up through 29,000. Moving over, taking a look at gold here real quick. Gold had some good support zones on the day, 1559.60s and 1554.10s. You guys can see how these reacted there. We were watching gold in the trade room today, so if you guys are in the MLT Discord, you can go back and kind of check this time frame here around 10:35 to like 11:15 or so. We were talking about a rally back here to 59.60s in gold to get short for a target down at 54.10s. That trade worked out nicely there, $5.50 out of the gold markets on the day there. So gold at this point, big break on the daily chart for gold, and realistically this opens up a lot of room, kind of down through this area where we kind of fall into no man's land, and there's going to be some stopping points along the way, but potentially gold's got a nice little move to the downside coming here. So we'll see. It's sitting right on top of this 1554.10 support. You can see it held it today. 1, 2, 3 test there, but ultimately getting a close up above there. So we'll see here if gold wants to remain strong. It's got some work to do right here, but at the moment, if it doesn't hold, it's got a lot of open air below. And then last but not least here, taking a look at crude oil. Crude oil here today, I thought this was actually going to hold it. It got a good rally, about $2 in the overnight session. Gapped up and was kind of pulling back to this 50.69 support level. I kind of expected this to hold and crude to go higher today, but it did not. And crude here actually put in new lows and trading lower now, 49.45s. These are going to be some levels we have not seen in quite some time in the crude oil markets. I mean, I'm going back to like 2018, January of 2019, December of 2018. So we haven't seen these levels in crude oil in over a year here, and really break into the downside in crude. So steer clear of this one at this point. Hourly downtrend still very much in effect. Daily downtrend still very much in effect. It will provide some opportunities to the downside. It will provide some opportunities to the upside, but it needs to break this trend first. So if you're not already short crude, keep focused on that side until this hourly trend does change. Anyway, that's what I've got here for the state of the markets on Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. Again, that comes on tonight at 9 o'clock. I'll be watching the markets and popping in the Discord there, seeing if the markets are moving based on anything that is or is not said, given the current situation that we are in. So, thank you guys so much for listening. If you are new around here, be sure to click that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification so you know when we post new content on this channel. And as always, if you guys have ideas for future videos, comments, suggestion, feedback, all those can go in the comment section below. And there's a description below with some links. If you guys want to go ahead and click those, feel free to do so. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next video.